I sort of went into the family business. My mother is Frances Moore Lappe, and starting about 40 years ago, she started exploring the root causes of hunger. She wrote a best-selling book called Diet for a Small Planet. And when I was in graduate school about 12 years ago, she and I collaborated on a book together. It became my first book, Hope's Edge. And ever since then, I've been exploring how do we feed the world and how do we ensure that the food that we're growing is good for our bodies, good for the planet, and good for the farmers. Some people might think that growing up with Frances Moore Lappe as my mother, that I'm sort of out of touch with how most people experience their food. That I was always eating this perfect diet of the perfect blend of fresh vegetables and brown rice and such things. But I feel like as a young adult, when I went off into my own, I had that experience that I think most young people do in this country, where I went to a college where the food wasn't so great in the cafeteria, and I didn't really know how to cook well for myself. And let's just say I ate a lot of ramen and sodas and things that weren't really on the list of what you should be eating from the Diet for a Small Planet cookbook, at least. And so I had my own experience of how do we all as young people how do we navigate a food system that sets us up in a way to fail. It makes it hard to make the right choices and the healthy choices. And over these years, I've learned a lot, certainly about cooking for myself, certainly about what's good food to be eating. But I've also seen this transformation happening for young people, that now on 290 college campuses, there are active chapters of students organizing to bring healthy food onto campuses. That there is just this groundswell that did not exist when I was in college of young people that are really active in bringing healthy food into their own lives and into their communities. I just saw that Advertising Age magazine declared sustainability as the jargoniest of jargon words out there. So yes, it's used a lot, and it's not always understood. To me, when I talk about sustainable food, I don't mean a specific production system like organic certified or biodynamic. What I mean is a set of principles that put a farm inside an ecosystem. So understand the connections between what's happening on a farm and the environment, the soil and the water and air. And it means integrating certain principles into how you farm, doing things like building healthy soil naturally through nitrogen-fixing crops or through compost and manure instead of synthetic fertilizer. It means doing things like figuring out natural ways to deal with the insects and plants you might not want instead of toxic chemicals. It means integrating livestock onto the farm as opposed to raising livestock in confined animal feeding operations. So it's a whole set of principles that farmers can bring to bear on their farm to varying degrees to bring that sustainability into the picture. I guess I sort of have a love-hate relationship, I think like a lot of us, with social media. The next time I wish a friend happy birthday on Facebook and Facebook asks me if I want to buy them something through some ad buy on Facebook, I'm on the brink of jumping off that platform. But I do think, on the other hand, that social media, of course, is this really powerful tool. It allows us real time to connect with other people. I've seen the power of it in terms of organizing, in terms of the advocacy work that needs to be done to shift our food system. Social media has been a really powerful tool for a lot of groups that I work with.